having our presence felt here today. We are. Yeah, we're doing a good job with that. And you know what I think I'm supposed to, what am I supposed to do now, Alex? I'm supposed to keep it going. Okay. So we're going to keep it going, sisters and brothers. You know, that is one thing, right? So this session is over on May the 17th. On May the 17th, the mandate that these people have to try to take away our rights, to try to make us more poor, to try to make us less safe, that mandate ends on May the 17th. Does our union end on May the 17th? Does our power end on May the 17th? Does our unity end on May the 17th? Right, it doesn't. Those things don't come from the people in this room. They come from us and the choices that we make. Okay, so when we decide to make those choices, we have some really good things that happen. When they say they want to cut back on services and they want to make it even harder for somebody who is struggling to get by to get health care, when they say that they want to make it even harder for kids in this state to get an education, for people who have a mental health problem to get treatment, for people who want to just live in a safe neighborhood or people who want to turn their lives around to do that, when they say that, they're trying to cut back on what we have built as union members, which is the middle class in the United States of America. And when they say they're going to cut back, we need to fight that back. When they say cut back, we say, they say cut back, 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 they say cut back. Okay, do not underestimate the power that the conversations that you're going to have with the people who are inside of this building. You know what it is actually like in the Family Support Division. You know what it is actually like to work for probation and parole. You know what it's actually like to work for Department of Mental Health. You know what it's actually like to make the state of Missouri work. The people who are in this building, most of them don't have a clue. Most of them do not have a clue. And it is our job today, it is our job to educate those folks. And some of them may not want to be educated. It's our job to make sure that they get educated. Now, we're going to be polite. I don't want anybody thinking that we're going to be dragging anybody out by their nose, anything like that. But we're going to be here. We're going to be here. And if they're going to be here till May the 17th, we're going to be here until May the 18th. They're going to be here. We're going to be here one day longer than it takes for them to understand that it's time to turn things around. Okay. Okay, so, did you hear that they went on strike at the Kleenex factory? Yeah, now we'll all have to picket. Okay, so I did tell a joke. Okay, so we do have somebody ready, and we're going to have somebody who I think is this is someone who I really admire as a leader in the labor movement in the state of Missouri. Okay, and so we're going to have somebody come up here to speak who's a real leader in the labor movement in the state of Missouri. She is the leader of a lot of the folks who are here who are union members from Local 1 and SEIU, somebody who makes people in this building really, really nervous. Put your hands together, give a big Missouri Union welcome for Nancy Cross with Service Employees International Union.
Brothers and sisters. Hey, so how's everybody doing? So I have to follow Bradley, which I hate doing because he's so good, but I thought I was going to get out of it because he spoke at the hall, and I was like, whew, I won't have to speak after him, but I'm going to try. He's phenomenal, isn't he? Let's give him another hand of applause. So I'm here representing SEIU, and with my colleagues from AFSCME and the CWA, we're really excited to have you all here today to lobby for your rights on the job as well as for your rights as citizens of the state of Missouri. As you know, as we look back from 2008, our struggles as state workers and people living in Missouri have been compounded since the economic crash. And our state has elected to solve the budget problems solely by short-cutting essential state services. Our state has reduced its budget this year again, and they've also cut, since 2008, 5,700 jobs that state workers previously performed. And that's the wrong track for Missouri to be on. We can't let the conservatives in the state tell us that the government is too big or has wasteful spending. Certainly don't accept the blame on state employees' collective bargaining rights. We can't afford to give up these rights, and we can't afford to allow the state to say that the government is too big and you have to continuously cut state workers and the benefits and services that they provide. What we really need to do today is we need you to support the budget that contains another long overdue pay raise and push for a pay plan that hopefully will move us from being the 50th paid state workers in the country to more in the middle and eventually the #1 paid state workers in the country. It is unacceptable for them to continue to make the cuts on jobs that we provide in order to make a balanced budget. We have to push today that we have to have a raise in order to continue to do our jobs, and that they need to take a close look at the way they do their budgeting to figure out how they protect Missouri workers and Missouri services that we provide to a lot of low-wage workers in this state on a day-to-day basis. We're going to knock on their doors. Bradley told you we're going to be polite, as you all always are, and we're going to tell them who we are and ask the legislators, whose side are you on, working families or corporate America? Okay? So we want to make sure they understand that we want them to be on the side of Missouri working families, not the corporate America that's trying to come into this state to control the way Missouri works. So I'm just going to close out and say that the one thing that is really great about having you all here is that you are from 3 different unions. In many other states, you do not work as closely as we work here. Here, we are all hand in glove. We work very closely with each other. We have long-term relationships, and we will continue to fight as one group in order to move Missouri forward. So, the other piece is that we also want to make sure, unfortunately, we're in a defensive mode. We have to defend against a lot of anti-worker legislation that is up here at the State House. We want to say no to right to work for less, no to paycheck deception, no to cuts in prevailing wage, and yes to supporting public employees' bargaining rights. So, what are we saying? No to right to work. No. Paycheck deception. No. Anti-worker bills. No. Cuts in prevailing wage. No. Okay, and what are we saying? Yes to Missouri families. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Really appreciate you speaking. And next, I want to introduce Brooks Suckett from CWA. He is the VP for the public sector, and he has traveled a very long way to be here with us today and with his sisters and brothers and public workers here in Missouri. So thank you so much for coming.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm happy. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm happy to stand with you today. And I bring you greetings on behalf of 150,000 CWA public workers from around the country. They would like for you to know that you do not stand alone, that they support you. And they support you because your fight is their fight. They understand your fight because it's the same fight that they're waging in their state. It's a fight for fairness, it's a fight for dignity, it's a fight for justice. They're with you because we share a common enemy. That enemy is those politicians who don't care about public services or the taxpayers who pay the taxes. There's an all-out assault on public workers all over the country. In state after state, the attack is on. It's against public services and the public workers who provide them. It's especially against our union. It's against unions all over the country because the unions are our voice. They're the voice of the workers. In struggles born out of the Depression in 1930, our parents and grandparents forged a social contract. It says that we as a society must take care of our own. Our social contract said we don't abandon our ill, our elderly, our children, or the unemployed. Our social contract said each American has access based on a decent and fair life. Should not depend on whether you're wealthy or if you're powerful. Our social contract said that we have a social safety net that catches those that fall through the cracks, those without hope. And we as public workers are assigned the responsibility of helping those workers. The social contract says that workers have a right to organize on the job and speak collectively to corporate power and political power. The tax on social safety net takes on many forms, brothers and sisters, and some of those forms are privatization, which many legislators think is a good idea. But it's an attack on our democracy, it's an attack on citizens, and it's an attack on workers. It attacks our union's ability to organize workers. It attacks the social safety net. We're opposed to right to work for less legislation. Are you opposed to right to work legislation? I can't hear you. Are you opposed? All right. It's an attack. This legislation is an attack on workers and taxpayers everywhere. Since 2008, right-wing politicians have used budget shortfalls created deliberately by their policies as an excuse to slash public services and attack public workers. Hundreds of thousands of public workers' jobs have been eliminated. Millions of public workers have had their pension, pay, and benefits slashed. Millions of Americans have seen their schools, their health care, and economic survival programs slashed just when they need them the most. The cuts are so severe they have made the recession last longer and been deeper. You don't help the recession by cutting jobs. If you want to stop the recession, what do? You create jobs. Too many politicians don't care because they represent the interests of the rich. They don't care about poor children because they lack the funding and sometimes fall through the cracks. They don't care about senior citizens who are barely getting by from month to month. They don't care about disabled citizens who struggle every day just to have a normal life. They don't care about the average thousands of average working class citizens that pay the taxes. They don't care about, only thing they care about is the wealthy people who are only looking for the next tax cut. When hurricanes, blizzards, earthquakes devastate our communities, it's public workers who provide those safety nets. It's public workers who save lives. It's public workers who rebuild cities. We provide the safety net in crisis for the unemployed, storm disasters, for children, senior citizens, disabled. We provide Social Security. We help those with the GI Bill. We help those with Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, state children's health insurance program. prescription drugs for senior citizens. Sisters and brothers, we are the safety net of this state. National research shows that roughly 2/3 of all Americans will sometime need to have access to the social safety net. Should they be cutting it? No! Should they be cutting it? No! A recent study by the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities in Washington, D.C. shows that our country's poverty rate would have been nearly twice as high in 2010 without the social safety nets that public workers provide. Missouri Foundation of Health estimates that 37% of children in Missouri were covered by Family Support Division. And this is just one of the many duties they perform. Yet politicians see fit to cut 700 positions. Will we let them cut 700 positions? Will we let them dismantle the social safety net? Brothers and sisters, you need to know today that America was built by people like you, men and women who care. You provide the social safety net Americans need and depend on. You make the difference in many lives across this state. The politicians want to give up and want us to go away. Are we going to go away? Are we going to give up? Say it loud. They need to hear you back there. All right. No, we're not giving up. We're going to stand up and fight back because we're fighting for what's right. When we stand up and fight back, we're fighting for the children in Missouri who needs somebody to care. When we stand up and fight back, we're fighting for the citizens and Medicaid recipients. When we stand and fight back, we're fighting for all those disabled folks who don't have representatives to speak out for them, who don't have a voice. We have to be the voice for the voiceless. All across this country, in places like Mississippi, Tennessee, Florida, New York, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, California, and right here in Missouri, we need to build coalitions. We need to fight back for workers' rights. We need to build community groups with taxpayers, civil rights groups, with women's rights groups, with environmentalists. Until we have justice, not only for public workers, but for private sector workers. We need to have justice for our communities, for our state, and for our nation. We will keep on fighting. Will we keep on fighting? Yes! Will we keep on organizing? Yes! Will we keep on mobilizing? Yes! We know we will win because we are right. We know we will win because we are the majority. And we know we will win because we have the power in our hand. Because in our hands the power greater than the hoard of gold, greater than the might of atoms, magnified 1,000-fold. We can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the world because the union makes us strong. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vice President Plunkett. Great speech. Thank you so much. Before we go to our next speaker, I just wanted to recognize that we do have some state representatives here with us standing as allies. We have our friends Representative Bob Burns, Representative Mike Frame, Representative Bill Otto, and Representative Judy Morgan. Please give them a round of applause. With that, I'd like to move on to the Missouri AFL-CIO Secretary-Treasurer, Mike Lewis.
Is this Wisconsin? No! Can they hear you? Is this Wisconsin? No! All right. Thank you for being here in Jefferson City. Today, I want to thank you for being here in what you do every single day to make this state work. Our fight against paycheck deception is part of a long struggle. But it's a struggle to get you full collective bargaining rights like you should have. It's a fight we must win. And the only way to do it is to stick together. Is this Wisconsin? Inside these very walls, there are extremist politicians. They're pushing for attacks on you, on me, on our brother machinists, our brother pipe fitters, all of us. Are you going to stand with them? Because they're sure to hell going to stand with you. What's really wrong here is that they're picking on the neediest workers in our state. The people who are already depressed. The people who can't make ends meet. And they want to take it even further. Is this Wisconsin? Are you going to let it happen? Missouri's better than Wisconsin, right? Instead of paycheck deception and right-to-work bills, instead of trying to take away voting rights from the elderly, from the depressed areas, these people behind these walls need to work together to create good jobs and strengthen our economy. It's time for Missouri's politicians, who are in the majority, to get their head out of you-know-where. Is this Wisconsin? All right. Is it time to expand Medicaid? Are we going to let them tell us that we don't need to expand Medicaid because we can't? Do you all pay taxes? Are you willing for those taxes to go for Medicaid, to take care of our elderly, to create jobs? Is that what we're here for? Instead of our state supporting the hardworking people like they do, who care for our veterans, who protect our children from abuse and neglect, and provide so many critical services every day, they want to take more away. Is that going to happen? Is this Wisconsin? Here today, I just want to say one more time, thank you for being here. It's these kinds of rallies that will hopefully, I hope they're up there looking. I hope they're looking at you. I hope they're looking at me. Tell them hello. And one more time, is this Wisconsin? We're here as a labor movement. Public sector, private sector, people from all across the state. We are united, we are one, and we're not going to take it. Thank you.
Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Fight back. Great. Thank you so much, Secretary Treasurer Lewis. We really appreciate you being here today. Okay, folks, so this is where, as Adam said earlier, that the rubber meets the road. So if I could have all of the group lobby leaders who have folders that look like this come up and stand and face the crowd with your numbers showing.